guys, it's Laura. Welcome to another video. So today's video is going to be a tag. I am doing the bookshelf time capsule tag. So I actually saw this going around on BookTube recently. I saw Reagan from Peruse Project do it, and I saw Starla from Starla Reads do it, and it looked like a lot of fun, so I thought I'd do it too. This tag was originally created by Jesse from Jesse the Reader, so I will leave his original video linked down below, as well as Reagan's and Starla's. So this is a tag all about giving an overview of your bookshelves in their current state in this current moment. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I think there's 15 questions. So yeah, let's just get right on into it. So the first question is, give an overview of your shelves and say where they're from. So these are actually my main bookshelves that I have out in my living room. I never film out here. I usually film in my bedroom. These shelves are the Billy bookshelves from IKEA, just like 99% of BookTube has. I like these because they're affordable and they're pretty durable. So yeah, this is what I've had. They've moved around with me quite a bit. So, and I got this third one when I moved back down to Florida. So added a third one in because I needed the space. And then in my bedroom, I have another bookshelf, which is the bookshelf that I usually film in front of. That I got from Target, and it is where I house all of my TBR books, so all the books that I haven't read. So these books are all books that I have read. Question number 2 is, which shelf is your favorite? It's hard to say. It would have to be either this shelf here, which you can't see, but I'll do a cutaway. It has my N.K. Jemisin books on it. I also really love this shelf right here because it has my Sanderson books on it. But as far as like one that's just like really pretty, I don't necessarily have one. Maybe the one that has the Starless Sea on it, which is up there because it is the most beautiful. Question number 3, do you keep every single book you read or do you ditch the ones that you don't like? I definitely do regular unhauls. Every once in a while, I go through my shelves and I pick out the ones that I either rated lowly or just don't want to keep anymore. I get rid of them. I cannot possibly keep all the books that I read because I just don't have the space. But all the books that I have read and absolutely loved and are 4 or 5 stars, I definitely keep on my shelves. Which leads into the 4th question, which is, what do you do when your bookshelves fill up? I buy another bookshelf, really? I mean, first of all, I tried to unhaul some books that I don't need anymore, but after that, I just buy another bookshelf. Like, I bought the 3rd one here recently because I needed more room. So that is what I tend to do. If I don't have enough room, I make more room. Question number 5, do you have an organization method or do you have one that you want to try? So right when the whole Pandora's box started last year, I started rearranging my bookshelves quite frequently. I rearranged them by color, which I absolutely loved the way it looked, but then I couldn't find any of the books on my shelf, so I rearranged it again. Right now they are by genre. I used to, prior to last year, organize my books alphabetically by author. I thought there was absolutely no way that I was ever going to arrange them any other way. But then, like I said, I tried out a bunch of different things last year, but this is where it's at right now. It's by genre, and basically I just have like series with multiple books first. I have, and then like standalones second. We've got like obviously mostly fantasy, and then it goes into mystery horror, and then it goes into sci-fi, and then contemporary, and then at the bottom I have all my middle grade and I have my graphic novels. So that's how it's organized now. If there's, as far as wanting to try a different method, I'm very curious to try a different method because I'm never quite happy with the way I organize my shelves since I stopped organizing alphabetically. So I might try something else, but I don't know what to try. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Number 6, how often do you reorganize your shelves and how do you approach it? Like I said a second ago, I've been reorganizing my shelves several times over the past year, but usually it's like every few months or anytime they're starting to fill up and I need to, you know, rearrange things to fit more books in. And when I do that, I take all the books off, I clean the shelves, and then I reorganize them on the floor. So I put them in piles of how I want them to go on the shelves, and then I put them back on the shelf. Next question, is there a shelf that bothers you no matter what? Not really. Like, I feel the same way about each shelf equally almost. Obviously the shelves that have my favorite books I love more, but there is actually the very bottom shelf, which you can't see, and I'll probably do a cutaway, but the very bottom shelf is not full. I have the rest of my middle grades. I've got the Harry Potter illustrated editions, I've got my graphic novels, and then I have some library books there empty. So I have space to grow, which is great, but I don't like the way it looks right now. Which color dominates your shelves? Pretty sure that it's all dark colors, mostly black and like dark blue, because a lot of the fantasy and sci-fi that I read have really dark covers, and because those are my main genres, that's what my shelf is full of. So it's mostly like black, gray, and dark blue or dark green. I would love to have more colorful books. If you can see over here, you can see a little bit of it in the frame. This is contemporary, and it's mostly YA contemporary, and it's so colorful and beautiful. So I wish I had more color on my shelves, but it's a genre thing. Question number 9 is, show us the most damaged book on your shelves and give us a story time about it. All of my books are pristine, okay? I keep them in very good condition. I do not like having damaged books on my shelf, and if they were to get damaged, I just replace them. So I don't have any to show you. I would say that like the most damaged book I have is this. We've got this action going on, but I actually bought it this way. This was a used bookstore purchase, and it came this way. So, and I don't mind this that much. Like, paperbacks always kind of wrinkle and stuff, but I mean, it's not really bad. I bought it that way. Question number 10, do you have any books that have major printing errors? No, I do not. I received a book at one point, like a couple of years ago, I think, that had some printing errors. The book itself was like, the binding was coming apart, and I think the pages were out of order as well, but I sent that back real quick. So no, I don't think I have any on my shelf that have any errors. Question number 11 is, what is the ugliest spine that just juts out? I don't think I really have an answer for that either. I like most of the spines on my shelves. Yeah, I don't think I have one that is like a major problem. Okay, question number 12 is, if you don't already have them, what do your dream bookshelves look like? In my forever home, I want a whole room that's dedicated to a library. Like, I want an in-home library, and I want my shelves to be built in, and I want one of those ladders that like slide. I want it to be like very dark wood. I don't know, I want it to look like a very old, lived-in library with a bunch of old books in it, and that's what I really want. I'd love to have like a loft and just have all built-in bookshelves with that rolling ladder situation. That is my dream. Those are my dream bookshelves. I don't know when, if ever, I will ever be able to have those, but that's what I really, really want. What is the tallest book on your bookshelf? I think that would have to go to all of the Harry Potter illustrated editions that I still have on my shelf. Yeah, I won't talk about it, but they're the tallest. And the next question is, what is the smallest book? And that would definitely have to be this little guy right here. This is Almost Midnight by Rainbow Rowell. These are 2 festive short stories. It's a really small book. It's really short, and it's really narrow. It's like really tiny, like compared to a regular hardcover. This is how big it is. So yeah, this is definitely the smallest on my shelf. Question number 15 is, what is your most prized possession on your bookshelf? I actually have like a couple different answers for this, but I think I'll save the next book for the next question. So my most prized, definitely these 2 books right here. I read Strange the Dreamer a little late in the game, and by then all the UK hardcovers, which is what this is, were sold out. And I adore this cover so much. So I think it was Illumicrate did a special edition where they reprinted both of these in the beautiful UK editions with sprayed edges. So this one has gold sprayed edges, this one has silver sprayed edges, and they are signed by Laini Taylor as well as numbered. Is this one numbered? Oh, no, only I think the Muse of Nightmares is a numbered edition. Yeah, it's signed, and it's number 763 out of 1,000 copies. So, and these cost me a pretty penny too, let me tell you, especially with shipping them from the UK. It was a lot, but these are some of my favorite books of all time, like top 5 favorites. And Laini Taylor is one of my favorite authors, and I'm just really happy to have these editions. So the very last question is, what is a book on your shelves that makes you slip back into a memory? This edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, this could also be considered one of my most prized possessions on my bookshelf. This is a 1927 facsimile of the first edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It is very old. As you can see, it has gilded edges, but they're kind of fading. The pages are yellowed. It has the original illustrations. It's just, it means so much to me because Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite stories ever, but also because of the way I received this. So this was back when I was working at the bookstore, and I got to talking with a customer, and we were talking about special editions and collecting them, and I was telling him how I'm all about collecting special editions. In fact, I'm looking for a special edition of Alice in Wonderland, but haven't been able to find one that is priced reasonably enough for me to buy. He came in the next day and brought me this book as a gift, and I thought it was just the sweetest thing ever, and it makes me remember that moment. It also makes me remember working at the bookstore in general, which, looking back on it, was some of my favorite moments. I kind of miss the bookstore a lot. Like, I'm happy to be where I am in life, but I miss that bookstore a whole lot. So picking up this book and seeing it on my shelf really reminds me of that time and that moment. So, and that is the end of this tag. That is the bookshelf time capsule tag. I hope you enjoyed. Do let me know down in the comments if you have any thoughts or opinions on the books that I mentioned or on my shelves in general. I promise you I will be doing a bookshelf tour at some point. It's just so time consuming and I have to like mentally prepare for it. But you'll get one soon, I promise. But that's gonna be it from me today. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.